Namaskara. Welcome to Ahara Arogya, the light of Samskara. Today we have Pavan Srivatsa, a psychologist, a philanthropist, a philosopher, and whatnot. And he has started the Chakshu Foundation and doing human service to the poor and the needy. And he does the free service to lots of people, more than 3,000 people he has treated during Corona. And today he is going to talk to us about the sadness. Now tell me, who has not been sad in some time or the other in their life? Everyone has become sad. But when that sadness becomes chronic for a long time, it leads to the ill health like diabetes, high blood pressure, depression, and then overeating, obesity, and again it becomes a vicious cycle. So, welcome, Pavan Srivatsa. Please tell
Num-
us, why do we get this sadness and what are the causes?
Sadness is just another basic emotion that we experience from time to time because of what we see through the sense organs and how our mind perceives it. And the body will be giving a set of reactions to it even before we start behaving. This experience of a certain emotion which the body experiences because of the denial that the mind does when it compares its own expectations with the reality, when there is a discrepancy, there will be a few emotions that come up. One among which we talk about today is sadness. How does the
Okay.
body experience sadness? Is our voice get a little deeper, we feel the choking sensation and pressure in the chest area, and our eyes become a little blurry or the tears start flowing out.
Watery? Yeah.
Yeah, watery, and the heart rate will be a little
More?
offside. It will be
Yeah.
increased and decreased. It will be increasing and decreasing from time to time. So, because of the act of mind, what does the mind do? It either asks for a compensation instead of this should have happened, or it will start questioning why did this happen? Why did it have to happen to me or to my people or at this particular point in time? That kind of a negotiation will happen with a question coming up, as a result of
Okay.
which the body feels this emotion called
Yeah.
sadness.
Yeah. When you said question, I realized that the same question Gautam Buddha had. And that's why 2,500 years back, he left the house and in search of the solution for this question. And then ultimately, they said that desire is the root cause of sadness and the desire. So, you tell us about this desire because even in the 12th century, our Sharanas, they said that ase bhavada bija. That means the desire or ase or greed or whatever you call by any word, that is the one which makes us sad and get into trouble in this world and we get drowned in the problems of the world. So tell us about that, please.
Desire is only because of the body. This body is something that requires, or the reason behind why this existence is for the physical body is desires. That keeps us motivated. But
Okay.
when our desires starts evolving to fantasies and wanting it to be a
Ah,
compulsive thing, that
yes.
is when we feel sad or
Hmm,
angry.
hmm,
For anger, we come to the later in the next episode. But for now, when it comes to sadness, it is because of the desires
hmm.
or the fantasies that can't be achieved in reality.
Okay.
When the reality meets the fantasy, we feel happy.
Hmm.
I wanted to see a butterfly today. I saw a butterfly, I felt happy. If I don't see it, will I feel sad? Probably
No.
not. If
No,
at all, if I feel
when you
sad,
talked about butterfly, I realized once I was
yes.
invited to horticulture department to inaugurate, and they asked me to open the ribbon. The moment I opened the ribbon, the
Yes, yes,
coconut,
yes.
I mean the flower of arachnet opened, and from then 30 to 40 butterflies came out, and
Oh,
I was
dear.
thrilled like a small child. So these are all small pleasures in the world, and it is such a nice thing. Okay, go ahead.
When it comes to the sadness part of it, when I don't see it, it becomes a compulsion. I should see it. It makes me feel sad when I don't see a butterfly on the flower. Meaning to say, I'm talking metaphorically here. We have expectations, and those
Hmm.
expectations are not coming to reality. There is a distance between the expected outcome and the actual outcome, which makes us feel sad.
Yeah, please narrate us the story of Pancha Pandavas and the please.
Okay, okay. Okay. Krishna once asked Pandavas, right? There are four things which are called Chaturveda Purushartha. The first one is Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha. He asked all the five Pandavas, which one is most important according to you? What adds value to a person's life, living, and what serves the purpose of life? So Dharmaraya said, obviously Dharma, because when we are doing the Dharma, it it carries us to the moksha directly. It is a direct way to heaven. So he asked Bhima next. Bhima said, I will answer in the last. Then he went to Arjuna in the hierarchy. He went to Arjuna. Arjuna said, Artha, meaning the pleasure of the physical world,
Money.
materialistic world. So Arjuna said so, and Krishna asked why. Because if we are not feeding this body, we can't do anything. We can't perform the act. To perform the act, this body needs some energy to which we need to feed it with what it asks us for. It needs to feel good, which comes to the psychology again. Why do we have so much of artha? Why do we gather so much of information
Money.
to this mind? Lots of money in our bank accounts, lots of jewelries on our body. Why? We want to feel happy. We can do something. If we earn somewhere, we can give it somewhere. This is what Arjuna said. Then he asked Nakula and Sahadeva, they said moksha is the most important. Why?
Correct.
In moksha, this body will not be there. It's only the Chidananda Swarupa, the soul, the Jivatma will reach the Paramatma.
Yeah.
And he will be serving the Paramatma forever. That is what we all live for. And that is the reason behind why we die. We have to
Okay.
find a reason to die, and that should be moksha. And now
Okay.
Krishna comes to Bhima and asks, now you tell me. Bhima openly said, Kama. Everybody kept their finger on the nose and be like, why? Kama. Kama is desire. A
Yeah.
desire to do something for the society, to do something to the people. Because Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, we all are one. Jana
Family.
Sevaya, Janardana Sevaya is what is
Save.
said, right?
Yes.
If we do the seva to or the service to the humans, it will reach to the God. If not one day, it reaches him the other day. He gives an example. Akasham patitam toyam yatha gacchati
Yatha
sagaram.
gacchati sagaram.
Sarvadeva
Sarvadeva
namaskaraha keshavam
namaskaraha
prati
Keshvam
gacchati.
pratigacchate. Okay.
So if we do it, it's like how every drop of water reaches the ocean, we all will do. But we have to do it with a desire to do it. We have to have that motivation from within. That
Yes.
is when we can do it. It should be realistic. That is when we feel happy. If not, we start feeling sad.
But the desire should not be excess. That
Yes.
will be disastrous. So it should be like a salt.
Very true.
It should be
Very
like
true.
a salt. Tell us about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Bhima Paka, we all have heard about Nada Paka. Nada is one of the cooks that comes during Mahabharata. There are three people who comes as cooks in Mahabharata period. One is Nada, the other one is Bhima, and the other one is Udupa. Nada, he prepares food which tastes good for all. Udupa is someone who cooked food during the Mahabharata war period.
Yes.
He cooked food for Pandavas and Kauravas both. It
Both.
used to go from the same kitchen. And then it was Bhima Paka, which was very healthy. He used to use lavana or uppu, salt, in a very limited quantity so that it doesn't have an impact on your mind.
Okay.
So
Actually,
we
the
have to,
salt, if it is excess salt, there will be high blood pressure, stroke, and heart attack. If it is
yes,
low, they will have the low sodium and they go into coma. So, ಉಪ್ಪಿಗಿಂತ ರುಚಿ ಇಲ್ಲ, ತಾಯಿಗಿಂತ ಬಂಧು ಇಲ್ಲ. So, the salt has
yes,
to be in place. But when
yes,
we talk about the sadness, I remember Shiva, when his wife consort Sati, self-immolation occurs and she burns herself. Then he takes the body and goes around the world with so much of sadness. But same Shiva, being a Adi Yogi, when he comes out, he has given a Shiva Sutra. What is that Shiva Sutra?
Shiva, to become Shiva, he did penance under the water in the ocean with his head down and leg up, Shirshasana, to be born as the son of Brahma. He wanted to show to the world the mistakes what people do and the correction that has to be done, both. When he found his wife being disrespected, and when she burnt herself because of her expectations not being met, those anger burnt herself, which made Shiva go angry because of the sadness. There is one method through which people express their sadness, which is anger, because they can't express their sadness as sadness, because they think sadness, when expressed as sadness, is something that is going to make them feel low. We have to know how to hold our emotions. We have to know how to control our emotions. I request people not to control it, like how Shiva did. Don't control it. He showed how to not control it by doing penance. He started asking himself, what are the reasons behind why this sadness came to me? There is a reason why it comes. There is a message that it has to give you. There is an expiry date for it too. Shiva told it to us through not by his words, but through his actions. He sat for the penance. He started closing his indriyas from the outside, the sense organs from the outside. He started self introspection. And he came up with an answer, which is my desires are the reason behind why I felt sad. My affection, my attachment to my wife. I was never attached before. I
Yes,
got attached to Sati. And now,
yes.
because of that over attachment, I am feeling the sadness. Although it was just an act of God, he wanted to show it to us in the form of a play. So he said, I loved her the most. And so that affection made me feel sad. He made us understand two things here: the attachment towards ourselves, or the attachment towards anything on the external world, which will make us feel sad one day or the other. It comes with the sadness tagging along. There will be an
Yes,
envelope, closed envelope,
correct.
in which there will be sadness. You have to open it one day or the other, and you have to experience it. That acceptance is what Shiva taught us.
Yes.
He then sat with the Kumbhaka and said, I will be a brahmacharya from now on forever. That brahmacharya created a fire in the whole world, the heat, which later gave birth to Parvati, and he married Parvati later. Bhagavan will always give us the blessings if we start accepting things the way they come, like how Shiva did.
And then ultimately he says Shiva is Shava without Shakti. And
Shakti.
that's why, he told the world that whether male or the female, we are one and we are for the betterment of the society. And here, we have to, like husband and wife or whatever it is, the relation, friends, we should share our sorrows like how we share our happiness also. Then
Yes.
sharing and caring reduces the unhappiness. So remember one thing, that raga, dvesha is a big dosha. We end up with disaster. And many of the people, they follow this raga, dvesha, they end up murdering and getting into the jail. Whereas those who control their raga, dvesha and become a samachitta. And this, Akka Mahadevi, she says, ನಾ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಸಾರ ಹುಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಸಂಸಾರ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಸೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಆಸೆ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೋಪ ಹುಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಕೋಪ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಲ್ಲಿ ತಾಪ ಹುಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು, ಈ ಕೋಪಾಗ್ನಿ ತಾಮಸ ಧೂಮ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನಾನು ಮರ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ನಾನು ಮರ್ತಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇನ್ನೂ ಕಷ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ದುಃಖಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣ ಅದೇ ಅಂತ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸೊ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸ್ ಹೂ ಆರ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್, though we can't shun the desires, as Bhima said, we have to have the desire, but it should be in the limited and for the betterment of ourselves and for the society, not the
Very,
greed where you keep on accumulating the wealth and then at the cost of others' ill health or others' happiness. And that should be very dangerous. So I think right from Shiva, whatever Shiva told, the same thing has been told by Buddha. Whatever Buddha told, the 12th century Shivasharanas told. But in the 21st century, we call Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means we must Kalibeku. We have to learn. And so today's our discussion is to learn that though we have unpleasant things happening around us, we must learn to keep calm and quiet and accept them as part of our life rather than expressing too much of sadness. So here there are three types of tears. One is when you're sad, you start crying. That is kanniru. The second one is Ananda Bhashpa. When you are happy, the tears start rolling. And the third one is Amrita Bhashpa. When you have the divinity in front of you, automatically the tears start rolling, and that is the Amrita Bhashpa. So let us all have Amrita Bhashpa, Ananda Bhashpa, but not the tears of sadness. Thank you very much, Pawan, for talking so well about the sadness. Thank you.
Thank you so much.